Hi everyone, this is Anastasia from Phoenix Nightingale, A Healing Revolution. I hope you're enjoying our chakra series, and today I will be talking about the throat chakra, located right here in our beautiful throats. Let me go ahead and show you my beautiful picture again, and here we are right here. And it's actually a robin's egg blue or lighter blue. This is probably a little bit dark for the specifics of it, but either way, again, coming front and back with the will and feeling centers. So it's important to know that with the throat chakra that it's in a place where there's not a lot of meat around it, right? It's our throat, and it acts as the hourglass. So this heart is the bridge, as we talked about last time, and then it acts as this hourglass up to our true spiritual aspects of self. So we've got our third eye and our crown up here. So when this is open, it's like, okay, the hourglass is going right up and down. This is called our communication center. You know, it's about whether we can access our voice. You know, I'm sure that you know some people that they have no voice at all. They just stay quiet. They don't want to stir the pot. They don't like conflict. I think I could probably pull 5 people off the street right now and ask them what they feel like about conflict, and they'll probably say to you that they're very uncomfortable with it, and they just, you know, they're a peaceful person, so they just stay out of things. The only problem with that is that it prevents you from actually speaking your own truth. Again, in that statement, I think it can't be taken lightly. When we're speaking our truth, first of all, people don't speak their truth, they don't speak at all. Then they start saying, okay, maybe I can get some strength here. Maybe I can work these muscles and really, make something happen with my own voice and start communicate how I'm feeling. A lot of times when we have hurts or things that we're processing, it won't look pretty. It's not going to look pretty when you try to use your voice. So the interesting thing about it is that this throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra represent mental energy on 2 different planes of the auric field. So the more spiritual sense of self and the more physical sense of self. So when we in our identities have something that we're trying to express, it doesn't mean that it's incorrect. It's just coming from a place of whatever it is that you know consciously. If you're having a conversation with someone and it's turning into an argument or this and that, actually my grandfather used to say, just walk away instead of creating the battle royale. But people that need drama, which now we're going back down to the sacral chakra, they don't relate to people. They can't be honored, and they don't relate to people that way. So this starts to access it, and it starts to access the power, and it starts to come up through the throat chakra. We must let go of our need to be right, and with an open heart, we'll see whether that person is going to be able to, sometimes you just can't see eye to eye. Sometimes you can't make it to that place where there's peace just yet. And the conversation doesn't always have to go in 30 seconds down to neutral. That's why people get afraid of using their voice. They get afraid of it, and so they decide that it's just best put away in a case somewhere. Now, the cool thing is that the other thing is that it links in with that solar plexus relative to willpower. So when I talked about the solar plexus having to do with addictions and that kind of stuff, here's where, if you're not paying attention, if you're not honoring yourself and having integrity in the words that you say, then that's going to be what is called severe dissonance of that throat chakra. And you're going to put yourself in situations that you could get really, hurt, like accidents, walking down the wrong streets that anybody that was paying attention would say, obviously, why would you go down there? It's just not safe. So people, for instance, if I'm going to smoke a cigarette, so I got to smoke because it's doing something to help, not to mention help me breathe in my heart, but it's going to suppress this, which then suppresses something here. So you see that there's an intricate design, and we talk about these chakras one by one, but when you start to realize your own self, your own system, what does it mean for you? Where are the connections for you? And can you just stand in your own integrity? Can you really know who you are? Here's the thing. When, I could say, I know who I am, this and that. The universe will consistently give me challenges to question it. And then you become somebody who is a constant seeker and saying, okay, I understand this process now, so what do I need to do? And if you're challenged, you stay in your power, you use the tools you have, and you do the best you can. You have to know your own truth. But let me tell you this. If you're effed up and you're going to learn these processes and then start going around to everybody saying, I'm speaking my truth, so this is my truth. And if at any time that truth is blaming or judging of another person, and there's other things that aren't coming to my mind right now, but guess what? That's your lower shadow talking, and it's wrong. The lower shadow is put there to help you, to keep you safe. Again, it's that unconscious starting to act. It thinks it's protecting you. Like I said, this can be a very complicated thing. But like I said to people, you can't know this process. It's like if you don't know how to draw, you got to start at the beginning. And because we're not taught about these things on our planet, like it's not part of school, you're on your own until you figure it out. And you got to figure it out by learning and practicing. I mean, just the other day, my daughter's like, well, I want to learn how to draw cursive. So I'm drawing these words for her and she's practicing. And then she got upset because my older son can already do it. And I thought to myself, wow, that's interesting, right? Like, we want to be good at something right away. We want to be able to just, say, oh yeah, that's right, I know that. That is also not a good throat chakra situation, right? You're not having the integrity of saying, you know what, I just don't know. You know what, you're right, I don't know. So let's just not know and not create any more stuff over it. And at least be able to say that's a kind of truth, right? Nobody on this face of this earth knows anything. The universe, God, Spirit, is the one who knows it, is the one that we need to ask, the one that we need to call in and say, be here, reside here for me. Because I'll tell you what, when you become strong enough and you want to really work with this stuff, you're going to get it. You're going to get challenged. Here's the deal. You're already being challenged. You're just trying to ignore it or whatever it is. There's billions of people on this planet. It could be anything. So, but here's some of the wonderful things about it. We're not just talking about communication and conflict here. We're also talking about actually the creative expression of self. When we talk about the sacral chakra, this is our seat of creativity, right? Where all the reproductive organs are, things are created. Things like life on earth, miracles are created. And if we're able to bring those up, we can creatively express ourselves in different ways. And that can look like anything, but when somebody creates, they can create a dinner for their family. They can create a painting in a picture. They could create, a lawn that looks beautiful. They could create anything that they want, whatever makes them happy. To be able to express yourself to the world and show yourself in all its truth is a real thing of beauty. And we are all practicers of this until the day we die. We are never somebody who's like, you know what, I got this. Anytime you say that, by the way, it's an ego-driven thing. I got this. And ego, by the way, resides in that solar plexus. But here's the thing is, the ego is the id, which is something that must be had on this planet Earth to exist. You need to have an identity here. It's not about being bad for being human or having an identity here, but it's about understanding that the ego is like a wave in the ocean, that it has to be expressed and flowing and moving through, like in that learning mind, which I teach about in my workshops. But if you are unable to do those things and you're accessing identities from a protective or traumatized place, then you need to take a second look. And if you're watching this video, hopefully you're open to those things and that it makes sense to you. And all of this information comes from a non-judgment type of place and a total place of experience in my own self and in my own wanting to help others through their situations and their path, because it's not easy. You know, when I was younger, I wouldn't even tell people that I loved them. It was not something I did. And if I did, it came with a cost. What can I say? I'm human. So I hope you enjoy this throat chakra lesson, and of course subscribe to our page if you haven't, and like this video, and please leave comments so that we know what it is that we're taking care of and information for you, or if you need more information, because we're here to serve you through our information. And be sure to watch the next video, because Cindy Berkowitz will be coming in, like we've been doing consequential chakras and then angelic readings relative to those chakras. She'll be coming in to do that for you. So after listening to this information, you can kind of connect with yourself that way and see what it is that you can come to terms with relative to your throat chakra today. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.